what I like about the unprogrammed style is the power in the silence. I have a hard time sitting still. I have a hard time centering myself. I have a hard time meditating. Sometimes a hard time praying. But the silence, it just allows, I feel, the Spirit to move within us. And when it does, it's what we call a gathered meeting. And it's very powerful and very enriching and uplifting. And it's that spirit I remember as a kid moving through church, through worship, with the music and the instruments, where this is moved through in silence. And it's so powerful, man. My name's Lidney Molnari. I'm from Live Oak Friends Meeting in Houston, Texas. Because I was raised evangelical, right? And of course, like many people, I rebelled against religion in general. And over the years, I personally confirmed with myself and with my spirit that God does exist. So that was the first hurdle for me to get back into a community of worship. And so I went church shopping, right, and visited different religions, different churches, and to use a Quaker term, they didn't meet my condition. So that first experience I had at Quaker meeting met my condition. The silence was so moving, so powerful. I knew that was my place of worship. That was my home. My first experience was at Live Oak Friends Meeting in Houston. I was a bit nervous because I didn't know what to expect, not knowing for sure how I would handle or how I would experience the silence. Kind of made me a bit nervous. But I remember where I sat, and I remember looking around, watching people settle in to prayer, meditation. And I began to settle in myself. And as I did, I experienced the presence of God as I did when I was a child. And it was moving. I'm getting chills, sorry. What I also like about the Unprogrammed Friends worship is it's all-inclusive. We don't ask what your belief is. We don't ask if you believe in God. We just ask you to come and worship with us. And that really touched me because, like I said, I rebelled against religion younger. I remember as a kid, my pastor, my preacher, mentioning how other churches weren't as quote-unquote Christian because they didn't believe the way we believed. And I remember as a kid, children's pastor telling me that these people were going to go to hell because they don't believe in Jesus. And it just didn't sit well with me, And Quakers not having a dogma or a creed, like I mentioned earlier, spoke to my condition. After visiting Live Oak Friends Meeting and seeking a place of worship, my prejudice, my judgment towards religion in general, subsided because I learned to believe, I learned to see that of God in everyone. So how can I say your form of religion's wrong if I see that of God in you, How can I judge the way you worship if I see that of God in you? It's finding Quakers, finding a Quaker meeting changed my life in that I'm more open-minded, more accepting, more tolerant, more compassionate.
Thank you for watching this QuakerSpeak video. We release new videos every week, and this season we're asking for your support to help keep the project going. For as little as $1 per video, you can become a Patreon partner. Check out the link below me for more details on that. You can subscribe to QuakerSpeak at this link here, and you can see all the videos we've ever released to my left down below me. Thanks so much.